Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're cracking open Apple's latest and greatest, the brand new Mac Mini.
Fresh off the production line.
Straight from Apple's website. We've got their official product page up, and there is a lot to get into with this little machine.
It's really remarkable what they've managed to pack in here. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a total redesign.
Yeah. First of all, can we talk about the size of this thing? 5 by 5 inches. I mean, it's practically pocket-sized compared to the older Mac Minis.
It's actually 1/20th the size of the previous generation, which is just wild when you think about it.
It's tiny.
But still, it delivers performance up to 6 times faster than the top-selling PC desktops for the same price.
That's incredible. Talk about a tiny titan. But with all that power crammed into such a small space, how on earth does it stay cool?
Well, that's where Apple's really innovative thermal design comes in. The whole device basically acts as a heatsink.
Oh.
They even use the foot to dissipate heat. And when you combine that with how power efficient Apple Silicon is, it can handle some pretty intense workloads without breaking a sweat.
So it's not just about power. It's also about efficiency. And speaking of efficiency, the new Mac Mini is making some big waves when it comes to sustainability.
Absolutely. This is Apple's first carbon-neutral Mac, which is a huge step forward for them and for the environment.
That's amazing.
They've managed to reduce the amount of aluminum they use by 85%, which is incredible.
Wow.
And they've incorporated over 50% recycled content overall. Plus, they're using 100% renewable energy sources for manufacturing.
It's really awesome to see a company like Apple taking such big steps towards sustainability.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the heart of this beast, the brains behind all that power and efficiency, the M4 and M4 Pro chips.
These chips are a game changer. Both of them boast the world's fastest CPU core.
So that means lightning-fast responsiveness no matter what you're doing.
Exactly. From browsing the web to editing 4K video, these chips can handle it all with ease.
So whether I'm working on a spreadsheet or rendering a 3D model, I'm going to have a smooth experience.
Exactly. And for those who need even more power, especially for things like graphics, there's the M4 Pro. It's got an enhanced GPU and ray tracing capabilities that are perfect for graphic designers, video editors, and even gamers.
Wait, gamers on a Mac Mini? That's not something you hear every day.
I know, right? But it's true. Thanks to the M4 Pro Mac Mini can now handle hardware-accelerated ray tracing.
And what does that mean for the average user?
Well, it means stunningly realistic lighting and shadow effects in games.
Okay, so we've got power, we've got efficiency, we've got sustainability, and now we've got gaming. What else does this Mac Mini have up its sleeve? Is there anything else that makes it stand out from the competition?
Absolutely. There's Apple Intelligence.
Ooh, Apple Intelligence. What's that all about?
It's a whole suite of AI-powered features that are built directly into the Mac Mini. They're designed to make you more productive and creative, all while keeping your privacy in mind.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example. What can Apple Intelligence actually do?
Well, imagine having writing tools that can proofread your text for you, suggest different words, or even summarize long documents.
That would be a game changer.
Or how about an image playground that lets you create original images just by describing what you want?
Whoa.
That's the power of Apple Intelligence. It's like having a super smart assistant working alongside you.
Those features sound amazing, especially that image playground. I can already imagine all sorts of possibilities.
It's really quite remarkable what they've achieved with Apple Intelligence. But we're just scratching the surface here. There's so much more to explore with this little powerhouse.
So we've got power, we've got efficiency, we've got sustainability, we've got gaming, and we've got Apple Intelligence. What else is there? I feel like we're just getting started.
We are just getting started. Let's dive into some of the nitty-gritty details of the Mac Mini specs. I know there are some listeners out there who love to geek out over the numbers.
Let's do it. Hit me with those specs.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about the M4 chip. The base model Mac Mini comes equipped with this incredible chip, and let me tell you, it's no slouch.
Okay, lay it on me.
It's got an 8-core CPU with 4 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores.
Okay, so 8 cores working together to make everything run smoothly. But what about the graphics? What kind of visual firepower are we talking about here?
The M4 chip also features an 8-core GPU. And get this, it's up to 5 times faster than the previous generation.
Wow, 5 times faster. That's a serious upgrade. So even if I'm not a professional video editor or gamer, I'm still going to see a noticeable difference in my everyday tasks.
Absolutely. Everything from scrolling through web pages to watching high-definition videos will be smoother and more visually appealing thanks to the M4's powerful GPU.
Okay, so the M4 chip sounds pretty impressive, But I know there's also an option to upgrade to the even more powerful M4 Pro chip. What's the difference between the two? What makes the M4 Pro stand out?
The M4 Pro is in a whole other league when it comes to performance. It offers a significant boost in both processing power and graphics capabilities, and you actually have a couple of choices with the M4 Pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can choose between a 10-core CPU and a 12-core CPU. Both of them have a mix of performance and efficiency cores to give you the best of both worlds.
So more cores for even more demanding workloads. What about the GPU on the M4 Pro? How does that compare to the standard M4?
The GPU on the M4 Pro is where things get really exciting. You have a choice between a 16-core GPU and an 18-core GPU. Both of those options are a huge leap forward compared to the M4.
Wow, those are some impressive numbers. Can you give me some real-world examples of what the M4 Pro can handle that the standard M4 might struggle with?
Absolutely. Video editing is a great example. The M4 Pro can handle multiple streams of 4K ProRes video playback at the same time. So if you're a professional video editor, this is a dream machine. It can even handle 8K video editing, which is becoming more and more important as higher resolution cameras become more common.
So for filmmakers and video editors working with high-resolution footage, the M4 Pro is the way to go. What about other creative professionals like graphic designers or photographers? How does the M4 Pro benefit them?
Let's take graphic designers, for example. The M4 Pro's powerful GPU and enhanced ray tracing capabilities allow them to create stunning visuals and complex 3D models. And they can do it all with incredible speed and detail.
So it's not just about speed, it's about quality and detail as well. And with support for up to 3 external displays, graphic designers can create a truly immersive workspace.
Exactly. And photographers will love the M4 Pro too. It can handle even the most demanding photo editing tasks, like batch processing thousands of raw images or creating complex composites with multiple layers.
So whether you're a video editor, a graphic designer, a photographer, or just a power user who demands the best, the M4 Pro sounds like a worthy investment. Now, we've talked a lot about the CPU and the GPU, but what about memory? How much memory can these little machines handle?
Well, this is where the magic of Apple Silicon really shines. The M4 chip offers unified memory options of 8 GB, 16 GB, and 24 GB.
Okay, 24 GB of unified memory. That sounds like a lot. But for those of us who might be new to this whole unified memory thing, can you explain what makes it so special? Why is it better than the traditional way of doing things?
Sure. In traditional computers, the CPU and GPU have separate pools of memory.
Right.
But with unified memory, both the CPU and GPU share the same pool of memory.
So what does that mean in terms of performance?
It means that data can be transferred between the CPU and GPU much faster and more efficiently. This leads to significant performance gains, especially for tasks that involve both processing power and graphical rendering, like video editing, 3D modeling, and gaming.
So it's all about speed and efficiency. The CPU and GPU can work together seamlessly without having to wait for data to be transferred back and forth.
Exactly. It's a game changer for overall system responsiveness and fluidity. And with the M4 Pro, you can get even more unified memory.
How much are we talking about?
The M4 Pro offers unified memory options of 16 GB and 32 GB.
32 GB of unified memory. That's insane. With that much memory, you can run pretty much any application you want without breaking a sweat.
Pretty much. You can multitask with dozens of apps, open edit massive files, and everything will still run smoothly.
Okay, so we've covered processing power, graphics capabilities, and memory. What's next on our spec sheet deep dive? What about storage?
Let's talk storage. The Mac Mini offers a range of SSD options to suit your needs.
Okay, so we're talking solid-state drives here. Those are the super fast ones, right?
Exactly. The base model Mac Mini comes with a 256 GB SSD, which is plenty of space for most everyday users.
So if you're someone who primarily stores documents, photos, and music locally, 256 GB should be more than enough. But what about those of us who need more space for larger files like videos or high-resolution images?
Well, Apple has you covered there, too. You can upgrade your Mac Mini's SSD all the way up to a whopping 2 TB.
2 terabytes, that's a ton of storage.
It is. And with the blazing fast speeds of an SSD, everything will feel incredibly snappy. From booting up your Mac to opening applications and transferring files, it'll all happen in the blink of an eye.
Okay, so we've got processing power, graphics capabilities, memory, and storage all covered. What else is there to explore in the world of Mac Mini specs?
Let's move on to connectivity. The Mac Mini comes packed with a variety of ports to connect all your peripherals and external devices.
Ports are essential, especially for professionals who rely on external displays, hard drives, and other specialized equipment. So what can we expect to find on the back of this tiny Titan?
Well, you'll find a pretty impressive array of ports for such a small machine. You've got two Thunderbolt 4 ports to start with.
Ah, Thunderbolt 4. Those are the
Yes.
super fast ones, right? What kind of data transfer speeds are we talking about here?
Thunderbolt 4 can handle data transfer speeds of up to 40 Gbps. That's seriously fast. You can transfer massive files, connect to high bandwidth peripherals, and even daisy chain multiple displays with ease.
So for professionals who work with large files or need to connect to multiple high-performance devices, those Thunderbolt 4 ports are a game changer. What else do we have in terms of connectivity?
In addition to the two Thunderbolt 4 ports, you've also got two USB-A ports, an HDMI port, a gigabit Ethernet port, and a headphone jack.
Wow, that's a pretty comprehensive selection of ports. So you've got options for connecting legacy devices with USB-A outputting video to a TV or monitor, with HDMI plugging into a wired network with gigabit Ethernet, and of course enjoying your favorite tunes with the headphone jack. Now, I know we've talked a lot about the standard M4 model, but what about the M4 Pro? Does it offer any additional connectivity options?
It does. The M4 Pro model actually comes with 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports instead of 2.
4 Thunderbolt 4 ports. That's a serious amount of bandwidth and connectivity.
It is. The other ports on the M4 Pro model are the same as the standard M4 model. 2 USB-A ports, an HDMI port, a gigabit Ethernet port, and a headphone jack.
So no matter which model you choose, you'll have plenty of options for connecting all your devices. Now, I know we've been deep in the weeds of technical specs, but let's not forget about the overall design and aesthetics of the Mac Mini. Apple's always been known for its sleek and minimalist design, and I'm curious to hear what they've done with this latest iteration.
Oh, they've definitely outdone themselves with the design of this Mac Mini. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I've always loved Apple's attention to detail when it comes to design. What are some of the standout features of the new Mac Mini's design?
Well, it's got this beautiful unibody aluminum enclosure, which gives it a really premium look and feel, and it's incredibly compact.
How compact are we talking?
It measures just 7.7 inches wide, 7.7 inches deep, and 1.41 inches tall. And it weighs in at a feather light 2.6 pounds.
Wow, so it's small, it's light, and it's built with premium materials. It sounds like Apple has really thought about every aspect of the design, from the functional to the aesthetic.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the environmental considerations. The Mac Mini's enclosure is made from 100% recycled aluminum.
So they're not just thinking about performance and aesthetics, they're also thinking about sustainability.
That's fantastic. Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground here, but is there anything else we should touch on before we move on to other aspects of the Mac Mini?
Oh, just one more thing, the power supply.
Okay, what about it?
The new Mac Mini has an integrated power supply, so there's no bulky external power brick to worry about.
That's always a welcome feature. It makes the Mac Mini even more compact and portable.
Exactly. It also simplifies your workspace and eliminates clutter.
Okay, so we've covered the processing power, the graphics capabilities, the memory, the storage, the connectivity, the design, and even the power supply. I think it's safe to say we've thoroughly explored the spec sheet of the new Mac Mini.
We have, but there's still so much more to discover about this incredible machine.
Well, then let's keep diving. I'm ready to explore everything the Mac Mini has to offer. Great. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll shift gears and explore the software side of the equation. We'll delve into the latest version of macOS and see how its new features and enhancements unlock even more possibilities for the Mac Mini.
I can't wait. It sounds like we're just getting started.
All right, so we've covered all the hardware goodness of the new Mac Mini.
We really went deep on those specs. But now it's time to talk about the software, the brains behind the operation.
Right. Let's dive into the latest version of macOS, the operating system that makes the whole Mac Mini experience come alive.
Sounds good to me. I'm always excited to see what Apple's been cooking up on the software side.
Yeah.
So what are some of the highlights of the latest macOS? Anything that really caught your eye?
Well, there are a lot of great new features, but one that really stands out to me is Stage Manager.
Stage Manager. I've heard a little bit about it, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. Can you break it down for me?
Sure. Imagine you're working on a project with like a ton of different windows and applications open.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling. It can get pretty chaotic.
Right. So Stage Manager basically groups related windows together and keeps them neatly organized on the side of your screen.
Interesting.
And the window you're actively working on stays front and center, so you can really focus on the task at hand.
So it's like decluttering your digital workspace.
Exactly. It's like having an invisible assistant that keeps everything tidy and organized. And as you switch between applications, Stage Manager automatically brings the relevant windows to the forefront.
Ooh, that's pretty slick. So it's not just about organization, it's also about making multitasking smoother and more intuitive.
Right. It really streamlines your workflow and helps you stay focused.
Okay, I'm liking Stage Manager already. What else does the latest macOS have to offer?
Or another big improvement is the redesigned Spotlight search.
Spotlight Search. I use that all the time to find files on my Mac. What's new about it?
It's not just for finding files anymore. It's become like this universal search tool that can pull information from all sorts of sources.
Interesting. Like what kind of sources are we talking about?
Well, you can still use it to search your Mac for documents, emails, contacts, and all that good stuff.
Right.
But now you can also use it to search the web. You can find news articles, Wikipedia entries, movie showtimes, pretty much anything you can think of.
Whoa, so it's like having Google built right into my Mac.
Pretty much. It's super convenient.
I love it. Okay, so we've got Stage Manager for organization and multitasking, and we've got a revamped Spotlight Search for finding anything and everything. What else is new in the world of macOS?
Let's talk about collaboration. Apple's made some really cool improvements to messages that make it easier than ever to work on projects with other people.
Ooh, collaboration features. I like the sound of that. Tell me more.
So imagine you're working on a presentation with a team.
Okay.
With these new features and messages, you can share documents, spreadsheets, even presentations directly within a conversation thread.
So no more emailing files back and forth and trying to keep track of different versions.
Exactly. Everyone in the conversation has access to the latest version of the document, and you can see each other's edits in real time.
That is so much more efficient.
Yeah.
And it's not just for work stuff, right? You could use these features for planning a trip with friends or putting together a family photo album.
Absolutely. The possibilities are endless.
I love it. So we've got organization, we've got search, we've got collaboration. What else has Apple been up to with macOS?
Well, they've also made some nice refinements to the overall user experience.
Like what kind of refinements?
Well, one big one is the introduction of a system-wide dark mode.
Ooh, dark mode. I love dark mode. It's so much easier on the eyes, especially at night.
Right. And it can help save battery life, too.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. So dark mode is a big plus. What other interface tweaks has Apple made?
They've also redesigned the control center. It's more accessible and customizable now. You can easily access commonly used controls like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, volume, all from one convenient spot.
That's always a welcome improvement. Anything else?
I think those are the major highlights, but there are tons of little tweaks and improvements throughout the operating system that make it even more enjoyable to use.
Okay, so macOS is looking pretty good so far. But we've got these incredibly powerful M4 and M4 Pro chips powering the Mac Mini. How does macOS actually take advantage of all that power to deliver a smooth and responsive experience?
That's a great question. macOS is optimized to take full advantage of the M4 and M4 Pro chips, and the result is a level of performance that's simply unmatched in the world of desktop computing.
Okay, give me some specifics. What does that actually mean for the user?
It means applications launch almost instantly, windows resize and move with buttery smoothness, and even demanding tasks like video editing and 3D rendering feel effortless.
So it's like the hardware and software working together in perfect harmony.
Exactly. It's a seamless experience that really showcases the best of what Apple has to offer.
This all sounds really impressive. I'm eager to get my hands on the new Mac Mini and experience it for myself. But before we wrap up our software deep dive, is there anything else you think we should touch on? Anything we've missed?
Well, there's one more crucial aspect of macOS that we haven't talked about yet, security.
Yes, security. That's always top of mind these days. What's Apple doing to keep our data safe and our Macs running smoothly?
Well, Apple has always been a leader in digital security, and the latest version of macOS takes things to a whole new level. They've packed it with advanced features that are designed to protect your data, your privacy, and your peace of mind.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about these security features. What are some of the highlights?
One of the cornerstones of macOS security is the Secure Enclave coprocessor. It's a dedicated chip that's built into the M4 and M4 Pro chips.
Okay.
And it handles all sorts of security-critical tasks like encryption authentication and secure boot.
So it's like a separate little brain that's solely focused on security.
Exactly. It's designed to be tamper-resistant and isolated from the rest of the system. So even if someone were to gain physical access to your Mac Mini, they wouldn't be able to crack the code and access your data.
Wow, that's impressive. So my data is locked down tight. What other security measures are in place?
Well, macOS also includes gatekeepers, which is a feature that prevents unauthorized applications from running on your Mac.
So it's like a bouncer for your computer.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Gatekeepers only allows apps that have been vetted and approved by Apple to run on your Mac. So it's a great way to protect yourself from malware and other potentially harmful software.
That makes sense. So we've got the secure enclave and we've got gatekeepers. Anything else?
Yes, there's also XProtect. It's Apple's built-in anti-malware system that constantly scans your Mac for known threats. And it updates automatically in the background, so you're always protected against the latest viruses and malware.
Wow, Apple's really got all the bases covered when it comes to security.
Yeah.
But what about privacy? How does macOS protect our personal information from prying eyes?
Privacy is a huge priority for Apple, and macOS reflects that commitment. It includes a range of privacy-enhancing features like app tracking transparency.
What's app tracking transparency?
Basically, it requires apps to get your permission before they can track your activity across other apps and websites.
So we have more control over our data and how it's being used.
Exactly. You get to decide which apps you want to allow to track your activity.
I like that. More control is always a good thing. What other privacy features does macOS offer?
Another cool feature is Private Relay.
Private Relay. I haven't heard of that one.
It's basically a service that encrypts your internet traffic and routes it through two separate relays. This makes it much harder for anyone to track your online activity.
So it's like a VPN built right into macOS.
Kind of. It's a really powerful tool for protecting your privacy online.
Wow, Apple really has thought of everything when it comes to security and privacy. They've created a system that's both robust and user-friendly. It's impressive.
It really is. macOS is a fantastic operating system, and it pairs perfectly with the powerful hardware of the Mac Mini. It's secure, it's intuitive, and it's packed with features that make you more productive, creative, and connected.
It sounds like a winning combination to me. I'm more excited than ever to get my hands on the new Mac Mini and experience it for myself. But I'm curious, what else is there to explore? What's next on our deep dive agenda?
Well, in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to step beyond the hardware and software and look at the bigger picture. We'll explore how the Mac Mini fits into the larger Apple ecosystem, its role in the future of work and entertainment, and its potential to transform the way we live, learn, and create.
I can't wait. It sounds like we've got a lot more ground to cover. Welcome back, everyone, to our Mac Mini deep dive. We've gone deep into the hardware to the software, and I'm really excited to take a step back and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, let's zoom out a little bit and explore how the Mac Mini fits into the larger Apple ecosystem.
Because let's be real, a device this powerful and versatile doesn't exist in isolation, right?
Absolutely not. It's designed to be part of a larger ecosystem, a network of devices and services that all work together seamlessly.
And Apple is known for its ecosystem integration, right?
Oh, yeah. They're the best in the business when it comes to creating a truly integrated user experience. Their devices just work together so effortlessly.
And that's the magic of it, right? Everything just flows.
Yeah.
So how does the Mac Mini play into this interconnected world?
The Mac Mini integrates seamlessly with all your other Apple devices, which means you can move between them effortlessly.
Give me some examples. What can I actually do with this integration?
Okay, well, let's start with something simple but super useful, the Universal Clipboard. You can copy text, images, even videos on your iPhone and paste them directly onto your Mac Mini, or vice versa.
Oh, yeah, I use that all the time. It's so convenient.
Right. No more emailing files to yourself or
Yeah.
messing around with cloud storage just to move something between devices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What else? What other cool integration tricks can you do?
Another great feature is handoff. So let's say you're browsing a website on your iPhone and you want to continue reading on a bigger screen.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
With handoff, that website will automatically open on your Mac Mini right where you left off. It's like magic.
It really is. And it works with a bunch of different apps, right?
Yeah. Safari mail pages, even some third-party apps.
That's awesome. So it's not just about transferring content between devices.
Yeah.
It's about picking up right where you left off, no matter what device you're using.
Exactly. And you can even use your iPhone or iPad as a second display for your Mac Mini with Sidecar.
Wait, really? That's super cool, especially if you need more screen real estate for work or creative projects.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
So we've talked about content transfer using your iPhone as a second display. What about communication? How does the Mac Mini fit into the world of calls, messages, video conferencing, all of that stuff?
Seamlessly. You can make and receive calls, send and receive text messages, and even do FaceTime video calls, all from your Mac Mini.
So I can answer my iPhone calls on my Mac Mini without even having to pick up my phone.
You got it. And with Continuity Camera, you can use your iPhone as a webcam for your Mac Mini.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Especially these days when everyone's doing video calls, the iPhone camera is way better than most built-in webcams.
Right. It's a huge upgrade for your video conferencing setup.
So we've got communication, content transfer, second screen capabilities. What else? I feel we're just scratching the surface of this ecosystem integration.
Oh, there's more. Don't forget about AirDrop.
AirDrop. Yes, that's my go-to for sharing files between devices.
It's so easy. You can wirelessly beam photos, videos, documents, anything you want from your iPhone, iPad, or another Mac to your Mac Mini.
And it's so much faster than emailing files to yourself or messing around with USB drives.
Way faster.
So we've talked a lot about how the Mac Mini integrates with other Apple devices, but it's not a walled garden, right? What about third-party apps and services?
Of course not. The Mac Mini has access to the entire Mac App Store, so you can find thousands of apps for productivity, creativity, entertainment, you name it.
Okay, good. So you can really customize your Mac Mini experience with whatever apps you need.
Exactly. Whether you're a professional video editor using Final Cut Pro, a musician making beats in Logic Pro X, a graphic designer working in Photoshop, there's an app for that.
It really does sound like the Mac Mini is a gateway to a whole world of possibilities.
It is. It's not just a computer. It's a platform for creativity, productivity, and connection.
I love that. Now, as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to touch on something that's super important, sustainability. We've talked about how Apple has made the Mac Mini more environmentally friendly, but how does that commitment extend to the bigger picture?
Apple's commitment to sustainability goes way beyond just the Mac Mini. They've set some really ambitious goals for the future.
Like what kind of goals?
Well, they're aiming to be carbon neutral across their entire supply chain and operations by 2030.
Wow, 2030, that's not that far away. It's a huge goal.
Yeah.
How are they planning to achieve that?
They're focusing on reducing their environmental impact at every stage, from the materials they use in their products to the energy they consume in their offices and data centers. They're investing heavily in renewable energy, they're using recycled materials whenever possible, and they're working with suppliers who share their commitment to sustainability.
It's really inspiring to see a company like Apple taking the lead on sustainability.
I agree. It sets a great example for other companies to follow.
Well said. We've covered so much ground in our deep dive today. We talked about the Mac Mini's impressive specs and innovative features.
We explored the seamless integration with the Apple ecosystem and how the Mac Mini can connect to all your other devices.
And we discussed Apple's commitment to sustainability and the steps they're taking to create a more environmentally friendly future.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. I always learn so much from these deep dives.
Me too. It's great to take a closer look at these amazing devices and see what they're capable of.
I'm really excited about the future of the Mac Mini. It's a powerful and versatile machine that has the potential to change the way we work, create, and connect.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, that brings us to the end of our Mac Mini deep dive. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the journey.
And be sure to tune in next time for another deep dive into the world of technology.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep creating.